On power outage numbers here in Indiana, about 6,000 AES Indiana customers without power. That's in the Indy area.
Right.
And then at last check, between 10 and 11,000 Duke Energy customers without power across the state. We've seen those numbers actually come down in the last couple of hours, so more people's power are coming back on. But what were some of the strongest winds we saw overnight?
We had some reports in excess of 60 to 70 miles per hour.
Okay.
So while we talk about the difference in straight line wind versus a tornado type damage from the wind, really anytime you get wind gusts that strong, that's still going to create situations like a EF0 or EF1. Yeah. Just because 70 mile per wind gusts, that's going to potentially do some damage. And that's what led to a lot of those branches coming down and some of those power outages overnight. Well,
as we mentioned, Kentucky under a state of emergency right now. Let's take you there and what the governor of Kentucky is calling the worst tornado event in that state's history. This is the courthouse in the town of Mayfield, which was one of the hardest hit communities. At least 50 people are confirmed dead. We're told that could rise to as many as 100 statewide as search and rescue workers continue to comb through the debris looking for survivors. And you can see
again, just looking at that video kind of takes you back.
It sure does. Severe damage to downtown buildings, as you can see there in that damage. We know, Lindsay, that the governor said that one of the tornadoes was on the ground for more than 200 miles. That seems really significant.
Covering 3 states. So starting in Arkansas, moving its way throughout the boot hill of Missouri, and then eventually into Kentucky. This storm potentially, I mean, wind gusts. I mean, if you were to look at it on the radar, I put this out on Twitter when it was happening live last night. The radar signature, we often talk about the debris ball and how it's so rare to actually see that on radar. And it was so well defined. I don't think I had ever seen one so obvious on radar. And whenever you see that, you just have to think about all the people behind that radar image and how it's going to impact these communities.
Well, and certainly when it happens overnight, when so many
That's
people
the scary
are
part
sleeping.
too.
Exactly.
Right.
The National Guard in Kentucky has been deployed to help out with some of those search and rescue efforts as well. Also from Mayfield, crews are working to find, again, people possibly trapped under the rubble, specifically after a candle factory collapsed due to those storms. The roof, we're told, collapsed. Don't know how many people were in that factory. I believe that is some of the video from one of those factories affected. But again, the governor calling this one of, if not the toughest night in Kentucky history.
This has been one of the toughest nights in Kentucky history, and some areas have been hit in ways that are hard to put into words. To all of our Kentucky families that are impacted by this, we want you to know that we are here for you. We love you. We are praying for you.
Yeah, the prayers of the nation with the people of Kentucky this morning as we take another look at the courthouse from Graves County, Kentucky, heavily damaged. One of the many buildings, countless buildings damaged from that massive tornado, that town taking a direct hit. And we will certainly see more with sunrise, Lindsay, as it gets lighter out and search and rescue efforts continue there. Kentucky, not the only state seeing damage. This is out of Edwardsville, Illinois. This is an Amazon warehouse just east of St. Louis, Missouri, where the roof collapsed and people were trapped there for hours. In fact, as of just a few minutes ago, we were told people are still trapped in that warehouse. Police say they don't know at this point how many people were in the building when the roof collapsed, how many people might still be inside. We know at least 4 people from that event, that building right there, are dead. And you can see obviously many emergency crews still there this morning, combing through, trying to safely get through that debris to try and find survivors and those who are injured who need help.
And we heard from the governor of Illinois as well, putting out on Twitter that his prayers are with the people of Edwardsville, and reached out to the mayor to provide any needed state resources, saying that our state police and everyone's at the ready, both coordinating closely with local officials and monitoring the situation that's going on there in Illinois. So this was not just contained to a few states. I mean, this was a widespread severe weather outbreak, and just knowing what's happening and what's ongoing not too far from home. It kind of puts it all into perspective at how lucky we were to get out of this storm system with the minimal damage that we have, just kind of seeing everything that's been coming in from overnight.
Absolutely. Take a look at damage from a nursing home. This is in Monetta, Arkansas. At least one person was killed there, several others hurt. At one point, 20 people were trapped in a nursing home. And also, we want to take you to tornado damage from Arkansas. This is a bit difficult to see, obviously. Actually, that looks like the tornado
you can see the funnel
in the
there.
middle of the screen. Yeah, just absolutely frightening that this outbreak happened. Really, I mean, at any time of the day, but certainly in the middle of the night with so many people sleeping. So we will continue, obviously, to monitor all of the updates going on from Arkansas, from Kentucky, from Illinois, the people who are still trapped this morning. And I know that, Lindsay, you're going to continue watching the situation here, although it looks like the threat really for us is pretty much over.
Right. We are in good shape as far as severe storms go, but we've got to talk about ongoing wind advisory as well as some much colder air moving in.
All right. See you in a few, Lindsay. Thank you.